Good evening, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 28515 Southwest Paris Avenue here in Wilsonville. We're located at the front of the home, all the way over towards the kind of the far left side here by this far left pillar. We have a 4-inch ABS cleanout under a plate. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. At the end, we'll reverse direction once the line's all drained out, and we'll scope the 4 or 5 feet of pipe back towards the home. Transitions here over to 4-inch 3034 PVC pipe. And we're actually going to take the camera as far back into the house as we can go. It's a very common thing with new construction to have excess pipe glue or construction debris caught in the pipe. And then right here is the main lateral connection here at about 22 feet. We're going to let the line drain out here for a few minutes before reeling back in. I located the camera head successfully out the main on Southwest Paris Avenue. This connection joint here is slightly offset, and I mean slightly. My camera has very little issue going over the top of it. It's maybe a 1/16 of an inch. Yeah, because it's that minimal, it's very unlikely that's going to catch any debris there coming down line. Well, I don't know if it was installed this way or if something settled a little bit. That's kind of hard to say. You could re-scope it before the warranty's up, and I'm not sure out here if the city maintains that part of the line or if it's a homeowner issue. At this point, I'm not recommending any repairs or anything on it. The line is still functioning just fine there. But with brand spanking new construction, it's a lot harder to know, or it's impossible to know whether it was just simply installed that way or if anything settled to cause that. That you could re-scope it before the warranty's up, or at least find out who's responsible for the main, or at least out in the street portion of the line, and kind of go from there. I'm not concerned at all right now about the functionality of the line. Now here's one of those spots I was talking about. We get a really tough view of it, but right here as the camera comes over the top of this turn, we do have some excess pipe glue dangling down from the line. We'll try and get a better look at that on the way out. And that right there is the end of the line going back into the house. The excess glue we saw there looks like it's at the top of the pipe. Need a little bit of standing water right here. Actually, at this point here, we're like right. I'm sorry, no, I lost that spot. For just about an inch of pipe there, it's hovering just over 1/2 of an inch. Again, this is generally with standing water. I don't recommend repairs, nor do I get worried about the functionality of a line until there's at least 5 feet of pipe with at least an inch of standing water. This is, for the most part, a 1/4 inch or less. There's just this one spot right here where it's sitting right at about, it's not even a 1/2 inch there. It's just over a 1/4 inch. So I think because we've got a couple kind of minor things here, I would recommend re-scoping the line before the year warranty is up. At this time, I can't recommend any repairs. All that stuff right now is so minimal, it's not going to affect the flow. I just want to make sure that there's no issues with things changing if they settle or anything like that. And this excess pipe glue right here, right in front of the camera there, it looks like it's at the top of the pipe. And I'll show that here. I'll run a little water. Alright, just turn the sink on inside there. As long as it routes through this area here, we'll kind of see that, but for the most part, that glue looks like it's up at the top of the pipe, out of the flow line area. You can see where the water's flowing at there, down at the bottom. Now this right here is all the way at the top of the pipe where it doesn't flow, and that piece of glue does not hang all the way down into the flow line. Alright, line's all drained out here. I just wanted to get an exact location of where this is at. Anyway, I would recommend re-scoping before the warranty's up in a year to check on both of those items there, make sure they haven't gotten worse. As they sit right now, they are extremely minimal and very unlikely to cause any flow problems. Now, for that reason, I don't recommend repairing them at this time. But I would check on it because they're so stinking new that, you know, sometimes you're catching stuff when it's in a current state of settling. If the house was 2-3 years old, I wouldn't even hardly bat an eye at it, because by that point you can reasonably assume that it's done all the moving it's going to. We've got a little small belly there around the 11-foot mark going back into the house, and then a very slight offset at the main connection. It's maybe a 1/16 to a 1/4 inch at most, both of which, at least in my opinion, are not significant enough to repair at this time. If they get worse, you might consider it, but right now, those little things there are not going to affect the flow in a significant way. So at this time, we have adequate flow to the main lateral. All the pipe we've scoped there is in good condition. None of it's broken, busted, anything like that. The sewer line is functioning at this time.